three in the first, second, and third slot. So I'll go back to that as I say. But just as far as the pick five, Whitmore is included. My top selection in the race is the 9 Special Reserve. This is a Michael Maker horse, and Joel Rosario is going to ride. Now, this gelding has obviously found the fountain of youth. You know, he woke up after the Commonwealth race at Keeneland, where, you know, he raced pretty good. You know, he ran into Flagstaff, and Flagstaff came back to win his very next start. So that kind of flattered Special Reserve, who finished second to him, because Special Reserve came back at Pimlico in the Maryland Sprint and put down an 100 buyer, winning, drawing away, as well as at Prairie Meadows in the Iowa Sprint, which she got a lifetime best 101 buyer. Drawn to the outside, very good speed. He's obviously quicker than Montauk Traffic to his inside. Miles Ahead, I think he's a little quicker than Miles Ahead. And, of course, he's quicker out of the gate than Whitmore. So I think that post position is going to put Special Reserve on or near the lead, and he is going to be very tough, and he is actually my top choice in this race. So to recap, the 3 runners I'm using in the pick 5, the 2 Mischievous Alex, the 6 Forense Fire, the 6 Whitmore, and the 9 Special Reserve. Now here we go with the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 10 rounds today. Now the grade 2 Jim Dandy, I am now getting ready to put my reputation on the line, ladies and gentlemen. I've explained this in my opening, and although there is the scratch of risk-taking, I'm hoping the race goes the way that I am running it in my head. So I had a dream, I had a premonition. I just do not think that Essential Quality is cranked up. Is Essential Quality the best horse in the race? I don't have to answer that question. We all know the answer to that. But like I said, it is not the best horse. Normally, it's the best horse on that day who has the best racing luck and who gets home first. So I am not going to use Essential Quality in the pick 5 nor the Grand Slam. Now, as far as the Grand Slam is concerned, it is a big risk because Essential Quality can also run well and hit the board. And at 1-2 on the morning line, the scratch of risk-taking, you know, I think Essential Quality hitting the board for my Grand Slam will obviously diminish the payoff. But I am going to take that chance. We are all horse handicappers, bettors, and so that's what we do on a regular basis. So I am going to take a stand. Keep Me in Mind is my number 1 pick in this particular race. I love those 3-4 furlong works at Saratoga. Diodoro is going to Rosario today, and the amount of runners who this colt outworked in those 3 days, 113. He was first of 113 in a 46 flat, second of 139 in a 47-2 breezing, and first of 50 in a 46-1 breezing. Do you think this colt likes Saratoga? Obviously. He is going to need a pace. I don't think the 6 risk-taking was going to offer in that. The only thing that's going to do probably is make Essential Quality be pushed, because Keep Me in Mind is going to take back. Essential Quality does not want to go wide, and so therefore he is going to be pushed. Wayburn is going to be a colt that is going to be on or near the lead with Essential Quality and the 1 Dr. Jack. And I think Keep Me in Mind is going to get that pace to run into. Now, am I saying that Keep Me in Mind will win the Travers if he wins today, Jim Dandy? No. I am just saying that he is going to win the Jim Dandy today. Keep Me in Mind, my number 1 choice to win today's Grade 2 Jim Dandy. I'm also using the 3 Wayburn. I love the way this 3-year-old colt by Pioneer of the Nile has been working, and how he's been looking on the track. James Jerkins is a little chilly. Obviously, I know. Gets Irad Ortiz today. And coming out of the Wood Memorial, where he ran an even race. He was bet at 6-1 after winning the Gotham. Came back and just kind of, had some trouble, went wide on the turn in the Wood, and really didn't run his race. Came back in the Pegasus, and even though there was only 5 runners, ran a bang-up race, just missed by a neck to Mandaloon, as well as Dr. Jack was in that race 2-1. So, as you know, Mandaloon was put up in the Haskell. So, Wayburn has the tactical speed. He has an affinity of liking Saratoga, showing me by those works, and he is going to give Essential Quality some trouble near the front or wherever Essential Quality and Luis Saez decides to sit. Like I said, I think that Wayburn can be a little more apt to hang on, and like I said, because I don't think Essential Quality is cranked up. I just really don't. If he is, then I'm out of my pick 5. Not so much my Grand Slam, because all I need is for Wayburn or Keep Me in Mind to hit the board. But I would totally be out of my pick 5. But that's not too much of a stretch. I think Wayburn has the ability to win this race, and like I said, I like his tactical speed, and I do have Joel Rosario sitting back there watching the action and seeing he will be able to know when to push the button coming home in today's Jim Dandy. So the 3 Wayburn and the 4 Keep Me in Mind are the 2 runners I am using in the pick 5 as well as the Grand Slam. Race 10 is the Grade 2 Bowling Green, 1 mile and 3/8 on the inner, $250,000. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, was very, very tough to handicap. Usually, a field of 8, usually I can get away with 2 confident runners, but I had to use 3 here. I'm not using, obviously, I'm not using a couple of obvious horses who I don't like. I know Channel Maker is going to be favored based upon that wire-to-wire win on a soft course in the Sword Dancer last year, a race in which I had him in that race. It's a similar type surface. Like I said, I do hope and believe by the time we get to the Bowling Green, the inner would be at somewhere near firm. And so in that case, I am going to others here. Do I want to start in post position order? In this particular race, let me start with the horse I like best. And that is the 3 Breakpoint. This is a Chad Brown. Chad Brown has 2 in this race, I believe. I think maybe even 3. He has 2. Now, this is a perfect scenario of how I like a horse to look, especially coming from overseas. In this case, this Chilean bred coming here and having 1 run. And I've said this many times before. I do not believe that 3rd race back is the best. Horses don't run like they used to back in the day, to where a 3rd race back would be the best. They're only running 4, 5, 6 races a year, so they're not wasting 2 races to come back to show their best. 1 race is good enough. This is a colt who was in an optional $100,000 claimer, and he was the 6-5 favorite in Belmont last time, and ran a typical first time in this country race. Did not break good, off a bit slow, although I think he was off more than a bit slow, according to what I saw, and then came home, only beat 2 horses home, but the ground that he closed, it was very, very impressive. Now, the 1 race acclimated, although it was Belmont, it's not Saratoga. It's going to be around a few turns today instead of the typical layout at Belmont at 1 mile and 1/8. However, I think the 3 Breakpoint is that 1 race is just going to do this colt wonders. I think Javier will be coming home very, very fast. I'm putting this horse, the 3 Breakpoint, this Chilean bred, on top. I'm also using the 2 Cross Border. Michael Maker trains this horse, and Luis Saez is going to ride. the one thing that stands out and that jumps off the page when I started to handicap this race is that Cross Border is 5 for 6 at Saratoga with 1 second. Now, I do wish that one day the Daily Racing Form alters or maybe digs a little deeper and is able to separate inner turf stats from Widener and outer turf stats on the NYRA circuit, because it just shows the Saratoga turf. Now that can, like I said, that can mean the inner or the melon. It doesn't distinguish any particular one course. Now, unless you can go back and see the full form. So, it seems to me that, you can use the square like they do when you read in the past performance. They can use the square for the inner. Today's race is on the inner. So it should have Saratoga in a square with the T. So you can say, okay, he's 3 for 4, whatever he is on this particular course. But nevertheless, 5 for 6. I think Maker is spotting this Ridgeline in a great spot. Where the post position in the mile and 3/8 is very, very important. You do not want to be fan wide on that first turn where you have to use a lot to get position and come around. Louis can sit back, probably third or fourth, and just save a lot of ground and just use this horse's experience to run a big race. So Cross Border, Michael Maker going good guns so far at Saratoga, really all over the United States. So won't be shaking into my boots putting the 2 Cross Border in there too. The third horse I'm going to use is the 1 Channel Cat, Jack Sisterson and Johnny V. Now, Channel Cat does have a win on Saratoga's turf course, won the Man o' War on the lead pretty much, and what I think from the rail, Johnny V is going to try to go. I don't think he's going to try to outrun Channel Maker. Depends on what Channel Maker and Manny does. But Channel Cat does have a better post. I just hope he doesn't, get the rail blues and break up in the air or, duck in or something like that, or duck toward the outside. But I like the post position. I know he can get the distance. He's 3 for 5 at the distance. Has a good Saratoga training track turf work of 48-3, which was 6 out of 62 of runners who worked that particular distance on that particular day. So, Channel Cat, Johnny V, Cross Border, Luis Saez, and Breakpoint, my top pick, excuse me, are my choices in the Grade 2 Bowling Green. Race 11, the final leg of the pick 5, a mile and 16th on the Melon. 10 are going to run. Hydroglyphics, the 8, was a runner who I liked best and on top, but that gelding has been scratched, so I went to an alternate, and I'll let you know who that alternate is. Let's start with the 3, Morocco, Safi Joseph, Javier Castellano, taking a huge drop in class from 62 down to 25. Now, the race before that, this gelding ran it for 25, was the beaten favorite at Gulfstream at a similar race, but was stepped up in class mightily, and the horse Chuck Willis came back to win. So that flatters Morocco. Morocco's dropping back down with his friends, and I think this gelding will be very, very tough to beat on the class drop. The number 5, the last zip, Mike Maker and Tyler Gaffleon. I think Maker found him a stable rider. I think you will see in the very near future, probably within the next, by the spring and the Triple Crown races of 2022, I think you're going to see Maker and Gaffleon pretty much using Tyler as his number 1 stable rider. I think they found something together. Even right now, they've teamed up together 300 times and they're 21%. Tyler rides the bejeebies out of a horse, and he especially rides tough for Maker. So the last zip Luis Saez won with this horse at Belmont last time. Luis Saez gets off, jumps on the 10